And one of the major challenges that most internationals do find in Germany is that it becomes really hard for them to get the job within that 18 months of time, and then people get stressed out. And I just want to talk about some of the tips and some of the things that you could actually do to avoid this, late minute stress. So in this video, I want to talk about how you can actually, go about the 18 months post-study visa that you get in Germany as a student when you're done with your studies. For those who don't know, so basically the 18 months post-study visa is a kind of visa you get as a student in Germany when you're done after your master's. So basically the Ausländerbehörde, which is like the immigration office, would grant you this visa with the intention that you should get a job that fits your study before the 18 months elapse. And one of the major challenges that most internationals do find in Germany is that it becomes really hard for them to get the job within that 18 months of time, and then people get stressed out. And I just want to talk about some of the tips and some of the things that you could actually do to avoid this, late minute stress. The first thing is the language, right? In as much as you probably heard this several times, and some people are also going to argue that, hey, it's not just by language, but I think this is where a lot of us get it wrong. People oftentimes wait till they are done with their studies before they want to start learning the language. If you want to get a job in Germany, regardless of the job, even though it's going to be English speaking job or German speaking job, I think, or from my experience or from what I've also heard from people, it is really necessary that you have a good knowledge of the language, right? So it is really important that you try to learn this language as early as you can, most preferably while you're still doing the studies, not when you're done with your studies and now you have this 18 months ahead of you. You're trying to squeeze learning German into this 18 months while at the same time applying for job, because like people would say applying for job is a full-time job on its own, right? So you have a limited time, and trust me, when you're going through this 18 months phase, it is not the time where you want to actually go start learning German. So my recommendation would be, while you're doing your studies, try to find time to also learn the language. It could be you're starting from A1, just try. And the good part is most of the universities in Germany, they also give you the opportunity to do like a part-time German language courses, so you could use that to actually gather some knowledge before that time. So even when you get to the 18 months and you really want to do intensive course, it might just be you want to do it for maybe B1 to B2, not necessarily that you're starting from scratch at that time, because there might not be enough time for you to start learning language and also applying for jobs. Next thing I want to talk about is actually building your skill up before you even finish your studies. Don't fall for that trap of saying, when I'm done with my studies, that's when I want to start looking for how to build my skills, or that's when I want to start applying for internships or something. While you're still on the study, take out 6 months or whatever it is, look for a way to get an internship or build a skill, while you're still on the study, and then work on that. And then you would see that even before you finish with the study program, you would have something to show to your potential employer that, okay, this is what I'm actually good at. So you don't want to be in that situation whereby you have now the 18 months in hand, you're trying to learn German, you're trying to build a skill, or you're even looking for the bare minimum, which is the internship, right? So this is some of the challenges that I think that some people don't usually tackle earlier on during the process, and then they wait till like the 18 months before they start wanting to do all these things together. In as much as 18 months might sound like a long period of time, trust me, it is not a long period of time. It is really, really short when you're in that situation. I know a lot of people that have been in that situation, and it is never a good one. So these are some of the few things you could do to prepare yourself before that time. Something I also wanted to mention is that your first job might not always be your first choice. So what do I mean by that? So usually people get stuck in this idea that they have this dream job that they wanted to do, and if it's not this particular job or in this industry, they feel like it is not what they want to take. So that shouldn't be the case. If you're someone who's faced with a time constraint like this 18 months visa thing, I don't think you are really in the best position to be picky. So what I would just advise is, like, when you get something, or maybe you get some offer, it could be that the salary or the position or the title, whatever it is not something that you would really like to do on a normal. But please just check if that would be accepted by the standard beholder. As long as that has been accepted by this authority, I would advise that you actually pick that first, and at least use that as a way of buying time for yourself. And along the line, you could then say, you know what, okay, I've gathered a lot of experience, or I'm no longer under this whole time pressure. And then you could start applying for something that you really want to do. So don't be in that situation where you feel like, okay, if it's not my first choice, it's nothing. So try to have all these things fixed. And when these are done, I'm sure you will stand a chance of getting something even quicker than expected. I just want to make this video short. And so that's it for now. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like, subscribe if you're a new viewer, subscribe, put a comment on the comment section, and also don't forget to share with your friends who this video might also be helpful to. Thanks. Until then, see you on the next one. Ciao.